So some of you might can relate to this, but I can relate to this too. I've dealt with a father who had anger issues and still, as this recording, still dealing with anger issues. And I hope that God really helps him and changes his heart for him to really stop having anger issues, stop getting mad, stop about people's business behind other people's back. Not saying that he's evil, but he's not perfect. And I personally believe his bad outweighs his good. And so I only want to make this episode specifically because you might be a person dealing with that same relative or friend or whoever it is that has that same contributing factor of being negative and being just full on a jerk, if you get what I'm saying. So as a punishment of this episode, last week's episode was about cutting off toxic people, but this one specifically is about having to nurture a somewhat toxic or bad relationship if it can be nurtured. There's only people who can actually nurture their relationships. If you can't nurture it, I recommend watching my other video. But to get to the point here, let's talk. So in this video here, first thing you need to know when it comes to wanting to forgive somebody or wanting something to be, wanting that relationship to be formed or reformed or rekindled or reformed in a good way, you gotta realize you can't control no one else's decisions. You are my father. I don't care how much my father makes me angry, how much my father may do what he do. I can't control what he does. And even not just with him, but other people I've experienced with, who I've talked to through friendship or relatives, can't control it. When it came to my relatives not supporting my podcast at the time, I couldn't control it. When it came to my friend being a shyster and worrying about this so-called girl that didn't even care about him, that used him for his attention, and he was being unfriendly to me just because he thought I was the bad guy when I wasn't, when other people were putting his business out there talking behind his back. You gotta let people know. You just gotta know for yourself. You can't control them. Some people can have that reconciliation or that repentive mindset of wanting to get rid of that bad thing they did and want to restart and shake hands with you, and some may not. But you can't get mad at that because the next one was about to come up. The only person who can really do, the only person you can really control or maybe tell them what to do is yourself. You are the person that put yourself in the predicament that you're in. You are the person that does what you do. Now, I know this person who is going through a situation with his parents, and this young man specifically, his father is acting stupid, and his mother is like the nice, passive one who tries to let all the bad things go away, but sometimes she gets hyped too, as the son does. And the son was thinking that the parents should divorce. The mother said that she doesn't want a divorce. Now, at the end of the day, if the father is being very negative, if the father is really being very verbal, threatening with abusive or verbal derogatory words, and I know this young man who's dealing with this, I wouldn't control him and tell him do what he wants to do. I wouldn't tell him to control his mom and tell him to do what he wants to do. That's everybody's personal choice. If the mom doesn't want a divorce, the son doesn't have to live with that. The son can just go away and just hope and pray that things change. And the wife, she can divorce, but it's her personal choice. Should she divorce if the father's acting very disrespectful to her and her son or the child? But it's her personal choice, but can't control it. And it goes back to what I say with you. Whatever situation you're dealing with, either you can nurture it or either you can cut it off. The third thing is, when it comes to forgiving and forgetting, is what's in time. Just forgive, forget, and let it go. And the best thing is just kill that negative person with kindness. Once you do that, hopefully that can make them change. Hopefully by them seeing that you forgive them and give them time after time after time, even if it's like 90 times, and it's the 91st time that they actually want to change, that's good because they're seeing now that you aren't the evil person. You doing the evil ain't get you nowhere. I hope this ain't being a repeat of last week's episode, but this ain't being, you don't be evil for evil. You do what's right for yourself. And once you do that, the person on the other end may change and forgive you what they've done. And the fourth thing I want to give out is that if you don't believe in God or Jesus Christ, meditate, or if you believe in Jesus Christ or if you believe in a higher power, then I would recommend pray or give all your stuff to that higher power. Especially for me, I give it all to Jesus Christ because that's where all my faith and all my strength comes from, 100%. And I give it all to the Father. And the last thing I want to give out is go to therapy. If you know you can't get all the stuff done, the best thing I would say is go to therapy. Because therapy can really help out what's going on in a situation, and it can go more into the thorough mind of what's going on. Because you have content creators like me or people that can give you advice, maybe friends, whoever. But the best thing is that if you go to a therapist, you can really get what's in your mind out and you can feel better. And a bonus one I want to give out, and this can be if you're dealing with a toxic relationship you're about to cut off with somebody, or if you're dealing with a relationship that's going to be changed and maybe they might can reform themselves. Carry your burden with someone else. If you know someone who's dealing with the situation, like I said earlier about the young man I know who's dealing with the situation with his father and his mom, carry your burden with somebody. Carry it. Because if you're dealing with a grief of a death of a loved one, talk to another person who dealt with a deep grief, who dealt with the death of a loved one and is grieving. If you dealt with a relationship and you got broke up with somebody, talk to that person who experienced the same thing. If you dealt with parents who divorced or who may divorce, do you talk to that person who's dealing with the same thing as you, maybe with the parent situation? And once you carry each other's burdens, you'll see the manifestation of whatever, in my opinion, Jesus Christ, God, or the universe, whatever it is, has for you. And a special thing that's really good is that if you subscribe to this channel and hit the like button and hit the notification button, you'll really see a new change in your life because this is a stepping stone to help you go further. I have a clothing brand. You can hit the link down below. I have 2 books where I give us for inspiration information, especially to the youth. But I'm working on a 3rd book about how I went through a traumatic experience with a relative. I don't want to spoil it until the book comes out. And I'm going to break down my adversities, not just with that, but other things I went through. And so if you're excited for that, please stay tuned and make sure to hit the like button, hit the notification button, and subscribe to this channel. And also, if you're looking forward to starting content creation, because I know there are still some people out there who are dealing with adversity with that, guess what? I'm building a community right now. And if you click the link down below and go check out the course, there'll be a course where in 2 weeks I'll help you launch your YouTube channel. And from then, you'll be able to join, you'll be able to be invited to the community just for purchasing my course and joining in there. And it's very quick, simple, easy, and something you may love. So if you enjoy it, I hope you do. This is Development Pod. My name is Brendan Brown. I want y'all to know that everything I'm saying here, I'm not holding it for a grudge, but I'm just documenting my journey. And I pray that whatever negativity happens in my life or what's going on in your life, that God helps it to be a testimony for you so that it can change into something positive or it can change you into something even more positive. So, thank you and goodbye.